That morning the town felt like it was moving in slow motion. A thin mist floated between the rooftops, and the street was almost empty. Somewhere nearby, someone swept the stone sidewalk, one quiet stroke after another. But inside Ethan, nothing was quiet. Not outside noise. Inside noise, a question that kept returning. No matter how hard he tried to ignore it, is this the life I wanted? Or the one they planned for me? Ethan walked with a folder tucked under his arm, heading toward the small building everyone called Town Hall. It was his first day. A stable job. A respectable job. The kind of job that makes people nod and say, "Good. Now your life is safe." Ethan was 28, with calm eyes and a voice that always sounded like he was asking permission. He lived with his mother in a modest house near the fields. His father had passed away years ago, and ever since then, Ethan had quietly become the responsible one. No one had ever said it directly. You have to carry the family. But he could feel it in every expectation. In that town, Ethan was considered a good example. A polite young man, reliable, raised the right way. And Ethan worked hard to stay exactly that. Because in a small town, your image becomes your place. That morning, his mother, Mrs. Carver, straightened his collar with careful hands. She didn't smile much, but her eyes looked proud. "Your father would have wanted this," she said softly. Ethan gave a small smile. "Yeah, maybe." Mrs. Carver hugged him, firm and quick. "This is real security, Ethan. You'll be okay now." Security. That word had followed him all his life. Security meant, don't risk. Security meant, don't stand out. Security meant, don't disappoint anyone. And without realizing it, Ethan had built his life with bricks handed to him by other people. Town Hall smelled like paper, ink, and old wood. The hallways were clean, quiet, formal. Ethan sat at his desk, opened the folder, and began copying numbers into a ledger. Lines, dates, signatures. Everything made sense. Everything was organized. And yet, it felt like his body was there, but his life wasn't. His supervisor, Mr. Harrington, passed behind him with slow, confident steps. "People respect the ones who last," he said, without even looking at Ethan. "Not the ones who chase dreams and end up regretting it." Ethan nodded. "Yes, sir." But the word dreams stayed in his chest. Because Ethan did have a dream. He had just learned to keep it hidden. When Ethan was AID, he used to draw, not for fun. He drew because it made him feel alive. He sketched faces at the market, trees bending in the wind, tiny moments no one cared about. He could see beauty where others only saw routine. His father once told him, "You've got a gift." But his mother always answered with the same practical certainty. Gifts don't pay bills. And from that moment, Ethan learned to draw quietly, like a secret, like something personal that the world didn't need to know. That afternoon, when he left Town Hall, he didn't go straight home. He walked a different road. And that S when he passed an old shop with a dusty window and faded letters on the glass, frame and paper. W. Bennett. Ethan slowed down. He didn't know why, but something pulled him closer. He pushed the door open, and a tiny bell rang. Inside, the air smelled like wood, glue, and time. Behind a workbench, an elderly man was carefully sanding a frame, calm as if nothing in the world could rush him. "Hello," Ethan said. The man looked up. "Evening," he replied. "Looking for something?" Ethan hesitated. "No." "Who's looking?" The old man glanced at the folder under Ethan's arm. "First day?" he asked. Ethan blinked. "How do you know?" The man gave a small smile. "On the first day, people walk like they're carrying an entire future under their arm." Ethan let out a quiet breath, almost a laugh. But it didn't sound happy. It sounded tired. On a table near the back, Ethan noticed something open. A sketchbook. Simple drawings, hands, faces, birds, shadows. Ethan felt something tightened inside him. Before he could stop himself, he said, I used to draw too. The old man didn't look surprised. He only asked, "Used to?" Ethan looked down. "Yeah, used to." The man set his tool down gently, then said, quietly, "That usually means you still do. You just stopped choosing it." Ethan felt the words hit him soft, but sharp. Stop choosing it. That night, Mrs. Carver had soup waiting on the table. "How was your first day?" she asked. Ethan smiled the way he always did. "Fine." It was fine. His mother nodded with relief. "See, stability is peace." Ethan stirred his spoon slowly. Then, almost in a whisper, "Mom, what if I want something else?" The room went still. "Something else," she repeated, like she wasn't sure she heard him right. Ethan swallowed. "Something that feels like mine." His mother frowned. "Ethan, life isn't about feelings. Life is about reality." Reality, that word, landed heavy. Ethan lowered his eyes. "Okay. Sorry." And he swallowed the entire conversation, just like he always swallowed himself. Days passed. Ethan woke up early, went to town hall, copied numbers, came home, ate quietly, slept, and each day he felt himself fading a little more. Until one afternoon, something small happened. But it wasn't small inside him. Mr. Harrington handed Ethan an envelope. "Tomorrow we meet the district officers," he said. "Look sharp. Be confident. This could secure your place here for years." Ethan nodded. "Yes, sir." But as he slid the envelope into his folder, he felt a sharp sting in his chest, like his body was saying, "Stop walking into a life you don't belong to." That night, Ethan couldn't sleep. He got up quietly and opened an old drawer. Inside was a small tin box. He lifted the lid, and there it was, his sketchbook. Dust on the cover. Yellowed pages. But when he opened it, his hand was still there. His world, his truth. And in that moment, Ethan understood something clearly. He hadn't lost his dream. He had lost himself. The next morning, before going to town hall, Ethan returned to the old shop. The elderly man was already working. Calmas, Bay 4. Ethan stepped forward and placed his sketchbook on the bench. His fingers trembled slightly. "I want to start again," he said. The man looked at the sketchbook. "Start drawing again?" he asked. Ethan shook his head. "No, start choosing." The old man's smile grew a little. "That takes longer," he said, "but it's worth more." Ethan nodded. "I know." That evening, Ethan walked into his house and stood in the doorway. His mother looked up immediately. "You didn't go to work," she said. Ethan took a deep breath, and he said the sentence, "It took him 28 years to build." "No." Mrs. Carver stood up fast. "What are you doing?" Ethan felt the old fear rising. Fear of disappointing her. Fear of being judged. Fear of losing love. But this time, he didn't run. He stayed. "Mom, I know you want the best for me." His mother's jaw tightened. "Then why are you throwing this away?" Ethan held the sketchbook in both hands, like proof he was real. "Because if I keep living for what everyone expects, one day I'll wake up and I won't know who I am." His mother whispered, "Hurt? People will talk." Ethan nodded. "Yeah. And what if you fail?" "Say, asked." Ethan looked down for a moment. Then he raised his eyes steady. "I'd rather fail on my own path than succeed on one I never chose." Silence filled the room. Long, heavy, but clean. Mrs. Carver sat down slowly, and for the first time, her voice didn't sound strict. It sounded human. "Your father," she said quietly. He wanted something too, and I was scared. Ethan felt something loosen in the air. Not the pain. De pressure. Like the house could finally breathe. That night, Ethan drew again. Not a masterpiece, just a simple scene. A closed folder on one side of the table, and an open sketchbook on the other. 2 lives, 2 roads, 1 decision. Because the truth hidden inside this story is simple. Living by other people's expectations feels safe, until you realize that safety is useless if it costs you your identity. And here's what very few people understand. Leading your own life isn't about being loud, it's about being clear. Choosing what matters, accepting consequences without begging for approval, thinking long-term, even when it hurts today. Because in the end, no one can live your life for you. If this story stayed with you, subscribe and tell me in the comments, what part of your life are you living for someone else's approval? Sometimes life begins when you stop trying to impress